Hyun learned this during his days as the highest ranker. The awakening mission begins. They will start at the first level. They will have to face clones of both of them. Hyun feels that they are underestimated, as no matter how good the artificial intelligence is, it will be difficult for it to match the control of a human. Hyun proposes that they each take on the other's clone. Upon attacking Ain's clone, he realizes that his stats are quite low. However, his level of control is abysmal compared to hers, but it's no problem at all. Hyun defeats her easily. Ain also does her part and defeats Hyun's clone. The first level is complete. They receive temporary stats points as a reward. It will be like a game where they get points every time they pass a level. They are now at the second level. Again, they must fight against their clones. However, they are a little different from before. Still, they are still no match for the originals. They complete this level and receive more temporary stats points. They must prepare for the third level. When they reach this level, things become more striking. The clones are getting stronger and stronger. This time, their stats increased, and they have an ability in interrogation. Moreover, they quickly attack Hyun without giving him time to think. Now, the clone's movements are similar to Ain's. However, using 1 second immortality, he manages to slow her down. Even though the AI is improving, it still has the advantage, so it accumulates the damage little by little. I was about to give it the final blow, but suddenly, it takes a lot of damage and loses its left arm. This happened even when it was blocking the 1 second immortality attacks. This happened because the skill in interrogation was one that allows double damage to be done when health is below 10%. Hyun made a mistake by not considering this ability earlier. Things get worse when Ain dies at the hands of the other clone. She won't be able to revive until time is reversed. The imaginary Hyun, despite being support as well, has a hidden ability called Vision Sword. Hyun wonders if Vision Sword is a skill to summon a sword. All this goes hand in hand with the Heavenly God's protection skill, which increases area defenses and is able to create a Vision Sword that has an attack equivalent to the total damage absorbed. It is a completely different skill from a second of immortality. It is an attack skill, and above all, it seems to be a trap skill. It is now that Hyun feels motivated. He then finishes off both clones and completes the third floor, receiving more temporary skill points. In addition, he unlocks the support awakening skill called Reverse Shield. He is also given the close range mage awakening skill called Magic Power Charge. He is warned that he can only choose one awakening skill, so he must think carefully. From now on, awakening skills will be unlocked. In Asura, the difficulty increases a lot from the 4th floor, so most users don't go past the 3rd floor. Now that Ain is gone, Hyun must do some damage as support. Hyun uses his status points on Heavenly God Protection. Now that that skill is level 8, he is able to use Vision Sword. Hyun must get as much information as possible before going back in time. Ain is seeing everything, since even though he died, he became a ghost and can walk around. The 4th level is about to begin. Hyun asks Ain to watch his back in case a long-range attack is aimed at him. The abilities of these clones are very high compared to the previous one. The clones begin to attack. Hyun's clone uses a support skill called Sophisticated Magic, which increases an ally's attack range by 1 meter as well as increasing his attack, which means he will receive more damage if he tries to stay away, so he stays within attack range. And using the absorbed damage, he uses Vision Sword. The Vision Sword is a very strong attack, but the clone ended up using a second of immortality and reduced the damage. Not only that, the clones are playing as if they were a team. They attack without letting Hyun breathe. Hyun's clone has long-range abilities. Things are getting worse and worse, so Ain asks Hyun to go back in time, but Hyun says there is still something he wants to try. He uses a second of absorption and takes a lot of damage. However, as his health is below 20%, the effect of the Blood Fairy's cloak is activated. This makes him become much faster. He feints to attack Ain's clone, but actually goes for his own clone first. He manages to hit it using Vision Sword. But it's not enough, and if that wasn't enough, his clone starts to use the ultimate. But this was what Hyun wanted, to find out all the abilities of the support, so with all the variables out, he mirrors the attacks of both clones simultaneously and leaves them weak, then uses a continuous attack and inflicts a lot of damage on them, finishing off Ain's clone. The Blood Fairy's effect expires, but things aren't over yet, because Hyun's clone's ultimate lasts for 5 minutes. Hyun is confident that he can do it alone from now on. He already knows all his skills and there is no one to interfere. That clone is nothing to him. So moments later he finishes him off and completes the 4th level, receiving even more temporary skill and status points. This causes him to unlock 2 skills, Soul Mirror and Vestige Blast. Hyun will go back in time, but first he'll look at what's next to find out how hard the 5th level will be. The last level begins, still clones, this time with extremely high skills and stats. Hyan came to think they were named monsters. He didn't expect such a great difficulty. He too had reached floor 5 in Asura, but he doesn't remember it being so difficult. The clones start attacking quickly. Hyan has very little room to react. At that rate he would end up dying, so he immediately goes back in time. As he goes back, he sees the memories of the awakening mission, until finally it ends and they are both alive again. They returned to the starting point.